We are about to open General Idea, a major new retrospective of the highly important Toronto artist group. So we're at the National Gallery of Canada. We're in a room that, as you can see, surrounds us. It really immerses us in this pharmacological universe. What's represented here are the pills of AZT, so the antiviral drug that was taken by one of the members of General Idea, Felix Parts. And we're enfolded in an entire year's worth of AZT, 1,825 pills. And then in the center of the space, 5 large pills that are the daily dose of AZT. This is a work that's in the National Collection. It's been in the National Collection since the 1990s. And it's part of a suite of very powerful, quite emotional spaces in this exhibition. I firmly believe that General Idea is the most important Canadian artist group of the 20th century. And I think that it's a name that might not be familiar to lots of folks, but their work has a huge impact. They weren't only making painting and sculptures, they made video works, they had an artist magazine, they made installations like the one we're in now. They had a major influence on subsequent generations of artists, of creators, and I think that their work is as relevant now as it was in the 1970s, 80s, and early 90s. As a queer teenager growing up in Toronto, I was coming out and I found General Idea's work. A friend of mine actually took me to their shop in Toronto, which is called Art Metropole, still exists to this day. And I saw myself reflected and in a way acknowledged by the group. They play with sexuality. They think a lot about a queer sensibility in their work. They were also extremely brave, I think, in combating the shame and stigma around HIV/AIDS and the AIDS epidemic as it was being experienced in the 80s and early 90s, which, for me, as a young queer guy coming out in the 90s, in the wake of that crisis, to see it in works of art, to see it addressed so openly by artists looked a lot like bravery to me.